Right, welcome back. We continue with the Saturday edition of Morning Live here on SABC. Life's full of contradictions, challenges, setbacks. Regardless of how deeply wise or foolish we are, it's imperative to understand that what's coming will come, and it's our preparedness and resilience that make the difference. So this is what author Namon Abe Andrea delves into in his book entitled FORESIGHT MINDSET, Shaping Your Future. The book provides a compelling roadmap for the reader to navigate through the complexities of life with confidence and wisdom. Namon joins us virtually this morning to tell us a little bit more. Namon, good morning. Thank you for your time at the SABC at this hour.
Good morning, Lisa, and good morning, every viewer.
Let's start off with, the question of the day. I mean, the inspiration behind writing this FORESIGHT Mindset, Shaping Your Future. Why the need to tell this story?
So, what inspired me was the fact that while promoting my first book, The Detour, and giving talks to organizations and college students, I realized that most people, they normally depend on their circumstances as the highest voice of their reasoning. And every time you depend on your circumstances as the highest voice of your reasoning, you give in to the idea of a life without possibilities. And when you give in to the idea of a life without possibilities, the end result is stagnation. And I've defined stagnation as another form of self-oppression, because life itself is defined by growth and change. And every change in life brings about its own challenges. We have seen that with COVID-19, and it's how prepared you are internally that makes the difference. As a matter of fact, I believe that life must not be lived outside in. Life must be lived inside out, no matter what is happening outside. Because when you live life outside in, as opposed to inside out, you disempower your own self internally, and you empower things that are outside of you, that are designed as tools that you come into terms with inside of you. So I decided to share practical steps that helps the reader on how they can begin living life inside out while they prepare for the future that they have envisioned.
Namon, well said. Thank you. Thank you for those sentiments, and thank you for putting thoughts to paper as well. I mean, if we look at the role of vision, what role does vision play in shaping one's future? And also, through turbulent times, through challenging times, maintaining a sense of purpose. How does one maintain that during challenging times?
So I think the vision cannot be overemphasized, and I think vision is critical in shaping one's future. When you lack vision, your loyalty to the familiar blinds you to the inevitability of change. And that's where Nokia and Kodak found themselves. And I don't have much time to talk about Nokia and Kodak, but the idea is it is almost impossible to succeed or sustain that success without vision. So organizations and individuals must embrace vision. It's important that we embrace vision, because it's sad that I think we are now living in a time where most people and organizations are trapped by what they have already achieved, and they fail to embrace vision. But it's very critical that one must embrace vision.
And speaking of which, I mean, it's always, important to have the ideas, but really bringing it down to a practical level. In your book, you also discuss various tools and techniques for strategic foresight, because this is inevitably what you're alluding to as well. Perhaps you could share some of those tools and how they really can be applied in real-world scenarios, given what is unfolding the world over.
So one of the tools that I'll share with you today is scenario planning, which involves envisioning multiple possible futures and developing strategies to adapt each scenario. And this process requires patience. And for this tool, like for every other tool that I share in my book, for them to work and produce outcomes that will transform us as individuals and the organizations that we represent, we must have patience. The greatest danger in our society today is that fast has become our norm. We want everything fast, fast foods and fast success. And so I think it's important that we must have patience with ourselves and patience with the process while we are putting these tools into work.
And on that note, looking at, people that have obviously interacted with your work and, noticed that mindset shift. Talk to us about some of those feats, also just the rewiring of the narratives in one's head, looking at, how that's shaped their outcomes. Talk to us about some of those success stories.
I've developed the course modules, and I think these kids, I'm the testimony. I should share my life experience with you first. I come from a background where my parents, when I moved to South Africa, my parents lost their business. I came here on my own in search of green pasture in form of jobs. And I began putting into work these keys and the tools that I share into the book. And from nothing, I had no job, I had no family in South Africa. I've now managed to write 2 books, and I'm even currently working on my 3rd book. I've had a chance to speak to organizations, colleges, and the people that I've had a chance to connect with through the tools that I've put myself into work.
So Namon, on that note, if people want to interact with you and also get a copy of your book, what's that process looking like? Where do you stock them as well?
So visit Clark's Bookshop. You can buy online. Clark's Bookshops, they got my books online, and Ralu and Balakudu on their online stores as well. What is worth. And you can buy directly from me. Check my social media accounts, Namon Abe Andrea, on all social media platforms. And also contact me directly on 063 005 8692.
Well, Namon, let's leave that conversation there for now. Thank you for your time at this hour, and thank you for sharing your story and those insights, of course. Also, Namon Abe Andrea, talking to us about his latest book. It's called FORESIGHT MINDSET, Shaping Your Future. It's a compelling roadmap for the reader to navigate through the complexities of life with confidence as wisdom, as you heard it directly from him. So on that note, we'll leave it there and take a quick ad break. We'll be right back after this.